What's up, everyone? Welcome to another New Year's edition, right? Pew pew.
Yeah.
To the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. Happy New Year's to everybody. We are back after an exciting break, of course. I am your, this is episode 95 being recorded on, what today is January 13th, 2021. We got through 2020. They can have
just
it.
Barely.
Barely. Except for Mando season 2. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's the only part we have.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was just about the only thing we had good.
Yeah.
Star Wars can stay. Everything else can. Nah, I had a good 2020. I had a great 2020 on the show. The show's been awesome.
Yeah.
Right? I've enjoyed the hell out of that.
Yeah.
We've had a great show.
Yeah, this has been great. But yeah, so I am your host, Darth Moocher. I'm joining with Scott Solo.
Hey, what's up, nerds?
Got Chris, Darth Dad 77.
Yo.
Bootleg Joe.
Hey, yo.
We got Ernie the Fallen Fett.
Hey, guys, what's up?
And Fanboy Mike.
Who?
Who let him
What's
back
happening?
Mike had a straight 400-day work schedule. And
You ain't kidding.
Working
You ain't
400
kidding.
ones.
Yeah, no
They had to
kidding.
take all my money and put it into another bank because it was just that full.
Wow.
Overseas. Whoa. IRS.
Nice.
Yeah.
Swiss bank account.
Our chat room is live. We have people in there waiting to get into some Star Wars talk after our hiatus. So who's in our chat room?
We've got Santo1414. We've got Gordon. We've got Bravos in there, and probably us. There's also Joey Drank, who I don't know. Is that this Joey? I don't know.
It's not me.
Not our
Are
Joey.
you? Okay, so we've got Joey Drank in here.
Nice.
So what's
nice.
up, guys?
Nice.
What's up, guys?
What
Welcome.
you drinking?
Yeah. What? Yeah. He already drank it though. It's like he drank what? But anyway. Yeah. So we've got exciting. The High Republic launched on January 5th. And if you guys haven't checked out our interviews with Daniel Jose Older and Kevin Scott, please go do that. Bookmark it. It's relevant to today. It'll be relevant a month from now. It's relevant one time it was recorded because now we are in the height of it. High Republic has launched a new era of Star Wars. That's exciting within itself because this is just another book, fill in time, whatever. This is a brand new adventure, complete timeline that has 3 phases, by the way. And phase 1 was launched to us. So everybody in chat, like I said, if you've read it, if you are curious about reading all these things, right now it's in comic book form and book form, and nothing announced on Disney Plus or movie just yet. But maybe there might be some tie-ins later. We'll have to wait and see. So if you're interested in getting into it and exploring this, then this is it right here. Get your questions in. All that. I know Chris has gotten all of phase 1, right? Like you've gotten the whole thing. So
Shebang's done.
where are we?
Nice.
Where is the High Republic in the timeline? Like break it down to what is released and where are we at in this era?
So this era takes place, some 230 some odd years before A New Hope.
Right.
Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Yoda's a rockin' 700 years old.
Right.
But as far as what we're looking for, what you want to know, what books to pick up, right? Where
Correct.
to start?
Correct.
The main book that we started out with was Charles Soule. Okay, Charles Soule wrote the novel Light of the Jedi. This will be the main discussion point for us today.
Yeah.
We're going to discuss them all, but this really, obviously, is
That
gonna
kicks
be
it off, yeah.
the biggest point, the kickoff, and deals mostly with the Great Disaster and the repercussions from that, and meeting all these wonderful set of Jedi. I mean, like we had a big group of Jedi before, right? Like the prequels introduced us to a lot of folks.
Right.
Yeah.
This is that 2 or 3-fold. There's a lot of Jedi to learn.
This is the heyday of the Jedi.
No joke, dude, and
Yeah.
it feels like it too.
Yeah.
So that's the first one. We also have now there's different stages too, right? That's the regular adult book. I did pick up everything. I also from Kevin Scott, The Great Jedi Rescue. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a kid's book, obviously. Okay. It's got a lot of pretty colors or pictures and colors and fun stuff. What it also turned out to be was extremely helpful. Because in going through the beginning of the book, there is so much to get into and so much to learn, and I like to know it all.
Right.
So
I'm
many
trying
characters.
to figure out who's who and where and what. It gets a little bit much for me in the very beginning of Light of the Jedi. I popped this open just to change my, move away from it for a second. Fixed me right up.
Yeah.
I was good. Now I could see the ships. I could see what was going on in the Great Disaster.
That's
I could
awesome.
see the characters, and it was just a blip through here. It's a very quick book, so helpful to me. just for that first third of that book. It
Yeah,
was
you
pretty
compared it
bad.
to almost like a companion piece for this
I know
visual,
it
like a
wasn't
visual
meant
guide
for
almost.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it wasn't meant for that, but it helped me a ton because
Sure.
again, and I was doing the audio version through it. I'm almost on my second go through. I just couldn't get it. I'm trying real hard to sit there and visualize and stop it and make notes and think,
Right.
and it was going too fast for me. So, but once I did it, brilliant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you have Justina Ireland's, right, which actually is on back order still at Amazon. So I haven't got my hard copy yet, but you can't see it in there. But A Test of Courage from Justina Ireland too. This is a junior high level book, right around there. It takes place in the midst of all the same time frame, right? They're all either taking place right during the Great Disaster or right after around the Starlight Beacon.
Okay.
I don't want to call it christening, but launch, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
So you got that going. And also you have from, again, Kevin Scott, High Republic #1 comic, about to be obviously a set of series of this comic as well. Good start there too. This takes place right after the Great Disaster. Most of the battle is right before the Starlight Beacon and during the Starlight Beacon launch. The
Cool.
Starlight Beacon, you may just jump into that, what that is real fast?
Yeah.
I mean,
Do it.
basically, it's a space station sent off by the Chancellor, Lena Rowe, right?
Yeah.
Who, by the way, I dig her as Chancellor.
Yes.
Yeah,
her
sure.
whole setup, her whole vibe, every speech she makes me want to. We are all the Republic.
Yeah.
Right? Like she gets
Yep.
me hyped. I'm all over it.
And her two cats that have side by side for her.
Yeah.
It's just
It's funny because they describe them as cats, but then you look at the picture and it's like, oh my god, these things are massive.
like lions, dude. They're
Yeah. Lion size.
It's like what's his name in Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Ezekiel. Yeah, yeah.
Ezekiel, and
Yeah.
she's rocking around with these.
Two
They're
Ezekiel.
gonna
Yeah,
eat
two.
you, right?
But they're like
Shivas.
what's the Chronicles of Narnia, that size of a lion.
Yeah.
I mean, they're massive lions. Yeah, they're huge.
Did you mention
so
Claudia Gray's book?
That's not out yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
but that
Right,
that
Into
continues
the
the
Dark. Into the Dark is next month.
right.
February.
Right.
But that
That's
closes
Claudia
this phase, right?
Also, no, and High Republic Adventures too. The Star Wars Adventures.
Okay,
That's
okay.
Daniel Jose Older.
Mm.
No, because then we have another. No, we still have lots more. The comics are still going throughout
Wow.
the year,
Nice.
and Kevin Scott has a novel coming out too. I thought that was phase 1. I'll have to look that up now.
Okay.
Now you went and got me confused. But I thought.
Sorry,
that was coming out.
yeah, no problem. Sorry.
I thought that was phase 1. They haven't given a solid date on the phases, have they?
No,
When they
because
start and stop.
on they did a live stream right before launch, like right
Right.
before they did a thing, and that's when I watched. I didn't watch the entire thing. I watched glimpses of it, and they were saying like, here's phase 1, and it had the authors that were involved in it and everything. But they also announced 2 and 3. And I didn't know that there was a next set. I know that it was going to be ongoing, but I mean, this is already like
It's a lot of
in
stuff.
plan.
Yeah.
Matt. Yeah.
So
So
doing 3 sets of this, because you can kind of start. I'm sure it's all wrong where I think it's going, because we're going to start theory
Yeah.
crafting the hell out of these books and screw everything up for everybody
Right.
again.
Well, yeah.
But just to throw back real fast, that Starlight
Yeah.
Beacon,
Yeah.
that's her symbol of hope and greatness, and again, the hope trope is all over. Not as bad through this, right, as it's been through, like, say, the certain point of view books where it was like hope.
right.
But you get it. It's Star Wars. That's what's A New Hope. And
Well, this
everything else is
chancellor
A New
wants
Hope.
to expand the Republic.
And this is for expansion. It's going to
Help
Basically, it's gonna have-
communications.
Yep, it has a Jedi outpost on it, all this stuff. The Jedi, mind you, remember, when we talked to Kevin, they're not part of the Republic. They're
Correct.
not working for the Republic.
Right.
They're an autonomous
Right.
set that work with them, not for them. So it's all different. So just a cool step. So as we're getting ready for this, that's when the disaster hits. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say before we got into the story, I was gonna say like my reaction to this book. Again, I've only read the Light of the Jedi. This book. The body count in this book. You got.
Jeez.
Massive.
Hey, this is there's some violent interactions going on.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, okay, I think this does trump A New Hope in body count. It has to.
Oh, yeah. There was a
Yeah.
1.2 billion kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
There was that win.
We should.
yeah.
Oh, you know what could? The only thing that could is Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Well, like I
Whenever
said, the
Hosnian was
sequel.
destroyed.
Yeah, that was a whole system. I do want to reiterate too, like when we're discussing this, it's going to be, there's going to be spoilers. I know we're not going to go deep dive into like character
Yeah.
stuff. So just beware. We are going to spoil some of the plot lines that are going through, or the
I didn't find any plot holes, so we're good.
No,
so
no,
far.
no. Like, yeah, with this, so just fair warning. You always have to throw that in there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think we should talk about not the exact specifics, but what the Great Disaster
so
is.
like
just so
like
we
to
can
set
get
this
people
up.
hooked.
Yeah, perfect. Like to set this up,
Is
it's a time
that
of
mentioned a lot as a thing? The Great Disaster,
Yes.
It happens in the
Kind-
first
kind of
third
like
of the book.
the Battle of Yavin.
Um,
So they'll
Yes,
talk about the
yes.
Great Disaster.
It
Okay.
changes. It
Yes.
pretty much is going to change everything.
I imagine at that point in their life, right? Like how they all do
Yeah.
ABY or what have
right.
you. It would probably be one
Right.
post Great
Okay.
Disaster. I mean, I'm making that up, right?
No, well, you kind of
I
think
can
of
see that.
the way of style of going about things. That's why you guys kept saying it, and I'm like, oh, so is this going to be a point where we approach it like that? Exactly that.
Yeah.
Is well, okay, well,
Yep,
before
that's
the Great
perfect.
Disaster.
yeah, because
Right, because they wouldn't know what the hell an ABY is, right? Or start their
Correct.
time on
Right.
there at all. They would start it, whatever.
Basically, they're setting up their own point, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like I said, set up. It's a time of peace, right? The Republic is in peace, other than a little skirmishes here and there and disputes here and there. But there is no overall threat. There's nothing. That the Jedi do their thing. They're the guardians, peace and justice. They are there's a police. The Republic doesn't have a army, right? So there's no need for one. It's all about diplomatic and expanding. That's why the phrase "We are the Republic" is the galaxy's phrase right now. So everybody involved is the Republic. They will protect everybody. There is no enemy. They're not going after anybody. All that. Now, the Starlight Beacon.
They do have a Republic Defense Coalition.
Yes,
Right.
It's
which
almost
is
like the
basically
reserve, right?
The National Guard or the
Yeah.
reserves,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what happens. Everybody comes in and can take care of stuff.
Yeah, and then the Starlight Beacon.
tremendously.
Yeah. and,
Otherwise, the planets have their own defense forces and stuff to
Correct.
handle minor skirmishes.
correct.
Yeah.
So that it gives you that sense of like where we're at in the galaxy. And throughout this book, they do mention the Jedi and Sith War. Like the last time the Jedi needed for a grand scale war was the Sith War. They
have brought up the Sith War the last couple books.
Yeah.
It keeps coming up. We're getting the Sith War.
I hope so.
Man, goosebumps.
that'd be
I got
nice.
goosebumps.
How
They
far
teased
back?
the High Republic for years. They teased the High Republic in all sorts of books
Yeah.
for a long time.
So-
This is years going.
How far back is that then from where we're at? At
10,000?
10,000 years.
If you're talking like Exar Kun, all that was 4,000 years. That's whenever the Sith first attacked, I believe.
Is that?
Wait,
I don't mean to say this, but is that
4D,
canon?
Right?
No, it's
'Cause
not canon.
Wait, how long are you going, Scott? Because 2000 is Bane.
2,000 is Bane, 4,000 was Exar Kun, 10,000 or 36,000 was the foundation of the.
Where was
of the
Revan?
Jedi.
Legend.
Revan's
I
3,000.
don't remember. All
Three.
legends, yeah.
Yeah.
3,000.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't
3,000.
Kun. Oh, I'm going to get all screwed up.
Yeah, I know.
Kun was
I,
first.
I don't.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I
not trying to
thought.
confuse anybody because I wanted the time frame because if that's just legends, then they can bring that closer to home.
They
They,
can move it all
yes.
around they want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah, and they probably will.
That's-
And
Right.
They
That's
probably
my
will.
point.
Right.
So I
That's
don't
my
want to
point.
worry too much. I think like with Bane being 2,000, I think that's too long, right?
I think
Sure.
they should put some distance though. But that's
1,000, yeah, because it's been a millennia.
Right.
I'm good with 1,000 back,
Yeah.
and then kind of doing that. And you need some gap.
and they've started with bringing Tython into the canon and all that because Tython
Right.
was huge in the old Republic.
Yes.
So yeah.
So no, there's good mentions. Good Lord, that was also in Justina Ireland's book too. They mentioned the Sith War.
I can't wait to get into the other ones after this book. I really, because
Yeah.
again, this one did set up this.
Oh, I'm
huge-
gonna bust something right now too. They also brought up light whips. Somebody is rocking a light whip.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You mean Indiana Jones whip?
like a lightsaber
Like
whip.
a-
Yes.
Right, but an
Yeah.
indie whip? Like,
Yep.
oh, damn.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that's been
They-
seen before
I-
too. I mean, that's not a
Mhm.
new thing. That's been.
Do you think that with the Jedi's abilities that they've displayed with the Great Disaster, you think that is a breakdown of what we're not seeing going forward at all? I'm not saying that the Jedi's are any less, but like it just seems like
I know
they
what
are
you're talking. I know what you're talking
super
about. No, they're
uber
overpowered.
powered.
Actually, we'll get into that in a second. 'Cause I think
Okay.
there's going to be a change.
Yeah.
And how it
That's-
messes with it, right? Because right now, what you see, we're jumping all over real
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
The Great
Guys,
Disaster.
Yes.
Remember, they're expanding. There's hyperspace isn't new, but it's really not as known as it is
Right.
in,
Right.
say, Battle of Yavin.
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff going on in hyperspace, but these anomalies, these emergences, they call them, right?
Mhm,
They're emerging from hyperspace and they're shooting at light speed, basically, really
Mm-hmm.
at light speed. at planets or moons or whatever.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
at light speed, even if it's a canister or a part of a ship, at light speed, it's going to tear off and destroy planets and moons
Right.
and what have you. So the Jedi basically are sent to help and what they can or where they are to try
Sure.
and help with this piece.
Right.
And that's
That's
where we start. That's what kicks this whole
Yeah,
thing off.
that's the Great Disaster. So the Great Disaster is these.
We won't tell you
emergencies.
what happens with it or why it's there or anything, but we have illustrations by the end of the book.
But that, yeah, that's
but the why is seriously screwed up.
it is screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what it actually is really messed up.
Yeah, it is. It is.
yeah.
But okay, so what you were saying about the Jedi. So here we go. At this point in time, okay, let's start with this. By the prequels, the Jedi all kind of think the same. The Council thinks the same, right? They're all kind of Yoda's mentality type thing. Everybody's calm,
Yes.
everybody's chill.
I got
The
that.
ones that are different are the ones that leave. Qui-Gon, Dooku, things like that. Not that Qui-Gon left, but he didn't go on the Council.
Right.
So those are the type, right? Now, in this 232 years before, they all have different sense of the Force. They use it differently. Like Avar Kriss,
Right.
she sees the Force as a song, right?
That's
Which
awesome.
is phenomenal in the audiobook.
Yes.
Right? It comes across so well. But they all see different things. And she has a vibe where she can tell other Jedi are around her when they're using it. And it's kind of a song in her head that goes through.
Yeah.
And then you have
Do you real quick? Do you get the sense that it's almost with her like the Jedi battle meditation from the Old Republic? I do too.
Yeah.
Like she's orchestrating battles through the music of the Force.
Yeah, it almost feels that way. They never kind of made it to where she was influencing them, right?
Mhm.
But it was close.
Yeah.
And Elzar Mann, right? Who she partnered? What's that?
Are we talking opera, techno, electronic? Like what?
It's
It's
more like
80s
it's more like a musical note that's constantly like going on, and if there's a disturbance in there, she sees things different, like color changes or note changes or missing notes or
But Chris was saying the hearing it part of the audio.
that's what I'm saying. It's more like a wave. It's more like a wave and
it's
feeling.
operatic.
So
It's neat. It's I don't know how you would say it. Not operatic. It's crystals and things like that, right? Like
New Age.
I was gonna
Very
say
new
that.
agey.
bad.
Okay,
It's
like
badass.
an electronic wind chime, maybe.
Yeah, I was
Could be.
Yeah, like
Think
that.
of Enya,
Like that.
Enya without vocals. There you go.
Oh.
Now
And
I
then,
just wanna sail
so
away. Okay.
But as a contrast to that, Elzar Mann, who's like her partner, right? Like there's not a romantic relationship, but you probably could see one if they went for it. You wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
He sees it. This is what I love. I love this character too. He sees it like the ocean. They explained it like a sea, just a vast amount of different ways to use the Force, and it was bottomless. Like he could just do whatever he wanted.
Right.
He didn't like to use the Force the same way twice, type of thing. He was into stuff. You know, it was like, oh, what a cool dude. You know, he's like that's your rebel Qui-Gon type that I would see.
Yeah, and everyone had their specialty.
These Jedi are,
everyone wasn't the like. I understand what Mike's saying because my first thing after I finished this book was like, man, I wish the prequel Jedis were more like this. I know that the prequel Jedi didn't have time to explain this. Maybe they were, and it's just that at that moment we just saw them all
they were more dogmatic and stuck and what have you in the prequel time.
Right.
Now they're more loose. It's more
well, everybody has their own talent, right?
Free-spirited.
Like in Legends, like Mace Windu,
they can
right?
do what they want to do. They've been given range to try things out and experiment and do stuff. And
awesome.
Man,
like
they're all awesome.
I love the fact that they didn't give any one Jedi that idea, except when one of them wanted to become a master, then he has the free reign to go ahead and study whatever he wanted. But there wasn't anything that was kind of hidden, to prove into being somebody that's switched over to being a Sith or anything like that. It's like they had pure hearts. Every single one of them that I've come across, they all had pure hearts, and they were
everybody in High Republic. That book does. When you get into Ireland's book, there's a point where you can see what could possibly happen
and why. Okay, gotcha.
In the future. Yeah, that's the first darkness I've really felt.
There, you also get a bit in the comic too. There's something going on with the what's the Jedi, the boss, what's Trandoshan Jedi. You kind of get the feeling that there's something not quite right there too in the comic.
Is that
in Skier?
Disaster?
Skier, yeah, in Skier after the Great Disaster, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Skier. That's his name.
Not Skeeter. Skier.
So we're real close to
Skier.
Sleestack.
We're close. We're getting in there.
Sleestack Skier.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And again, another Jedi I freaking loved, right?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, in this book, TLJ haters, I'm just gonna get on you right now. they broke into hulls of ships, right? Sucked right out into space, everything else, and that they actually literally said what I have said on this show. I hope the shield still keeps me from the vacuum of space, or from the you know what it said it can save me for a while. I hope I'm still in that part. Get out. That's exactly what I've been saying.
And also they can hold their breath for extraordinary.
Well, besides that part.
Well, there's mentions of it, and also the ability to survive in the vacuum too. There was and some light speed vehicle attacks and stuff. I mean, it's all hit on.
There's really intense stuff. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, we're gonna jump all over it.
Real quick, Chris. I do have a question, or Scott, or anybody who's read it. They are mentioned as Jedi.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so that's stuck. That's our.
Yeah.
They're Jedi.
Do they still have a council of Jedi?
And Yoda is in it.
Yeah.
As a grandmaster.
As a grandmaster, he's on a sabbatical. You don't. I'm gonna let you know right now. If you're in here for Yoda, you're not gonna get him a lot. But the way they see Yoda, is phenomenal.
Yoda is on the council, though. Yes.
He is on the council. Wow. He's obviously 230 something years younger. Got a little more, not a rebellious streak, but more about he's finding his way in the Force or experimenting with the Force and taking some younglings out right now. That's the comic we're going to get, I believe, from Daniel Jose Older.
Correct. With Yaddle?
We haven't heard a damn thing about Yaddle yet.
Don't know.
But Master Poof and Rancisis, right, are both in it and both on the council still and both ancient.
Yeah.
Right.
They're from episode 1, right? The long neck dude and
ancient one.
Oh yeah.
And the hairy dude, the one, the meditation hairy one, which is a female.
The swirls.
She's it's a female. Yeah.
So they're still there. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
How I want to say this. I'll say this part. Like Avar Chris can hear everybody in the light and everybody's song, right? Even if you don't hear songs, she can. She heard Yoda.
Yeah.
And the way she described Yoda gives me chills thinking about it, how he is just pure light. Like he is
pure light. Yep.
So I'm like, just the way she had talked about him and the way she sensed him and felt him, and she described him for a good 10 seconds, right? But just made it so clear to all of us that Yoda is pure light. Even though I think we all know Yoda can touch the darkness, right? And he can deal with it. He spoke about it in Clone Wars, that he knows it's there.
Yep,
right.
You
know, but his heart, like you had mentioned, Mike, his heart is pure light, and I just love that piece that they added in there. You only get like maybe 4 mentions of Yoda the whole time,
right?
And all this stuff and everything.
He actually makes an appearance in the comic.
Yeah,
that's a little bit of a bummer.
A little bit, but when they do mention him, or he shows up, or in the comic he shows up, it's like when Silent Bob speaks.
That she hears him as pure light. I'm sorry, if I see Yoda walk around the corner, I'm hearing Metallica. Imprisoning me. I cannot, you're like, yeah, that's Yoda.
Well, no, she hears just pure light, and she says, despite his looks, type of thing.
Despite his looks.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Chris,
despite his looks.
Did that thought go forward with Grogu's? I don't want to break the third wall, but in the idea of did that go forward as far as what you think about Grogu?
Oh, I haven't even put anything.
Okay.
I haven't put anything really from the sequels or there. I've done original trilogy thinking, like what would interact, because they have also you have 2 families show up from the originals or comics or expanded universe. So they're not major players. You're not going to be Skywalker or Organa or anything like that, but you're going to get stuff that you would recognize from the movies and one from the comics.
Right.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's
awesome. I heard one so far.
It is really cool. And this is 200 years before. So you have family history of characters you've met, maybe only for a second or 5 minutes, but it's neat to have some background on them.
That being said, in Justina Ireland's book, there is a character who's related to Santa Staros from the Marvel Comics.
That's one of the 2 I was talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Well, if we're going to say it, the Santecas are in it.
Yeah,
too.
the Santecas.
Yeah. So that's cool. So Santa Staros' family, and then Santecas. And Santecas, this is way it does link to the sequels and to everything else, right?
Yeah.
They're space explorers. They're that's what they're out there doing. They were prospectors for a while, and this
and respected,
and they know hyperspace more than everybody else.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the
so
trick.
they're kind of like writing our maps.
Yes, that's exactly what they're doing.
Right. So it ties in even more. Oh, that's
Right.
awesome.
Um,
That's cool.
So for
And
those,
that's
that are
exactly why
looking
he
for
had
those
the map
threads.
to give to
Correct.
Skywalker.
Right. Yeah. Then if that's like a family thing and
Boom.
that's what you're out doing, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's a great way to tie it in.
They're
Wild.
Great. It was awesome.
Right. So I
And
didn't have to
there's-
reach
I
for
like
that. That was already there. I didn't have to reach for that.
I like it.
yeah.
I like
So
it. That's cool.
But but everything else, Mike, to like bring it to the man or try to theory craft
Mhm.
in, I haven't done any of that. It's
No.
good enough on its own where I don't have to, and I don't.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
everything else
No,
isn't.
it was
But-
mostly just what they saw about Yoda, and then why we know Grogu to be so special. That
Yeah,
was all.
I
It
don't
was
think
just a direct-
Grogu's pure light.
No.
I think Grogu's a
No.
little
Ask any
But-
newbie
but-
and they will fight you as far
But
as
they said,
Grogu is
but they said
everything.
this, but they said he is absolutely special, and so that was something that I felt like, well, we know that Yoda's race, you know what I mean, is I mean when they're going back, how old was he? 250, 300 years old. Yeah,
this one?
Yoda.
He's about 7.
Yoda was 9. He's like
Yeah.
650 now,
Yeah.
or 670.
In the Light of Jedi.
Yeah, he's like
Okay,
670.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a
That's all. It
youngin'.
was just
Yeah. Well,
But he's still powerful and respected because even Ava Chris at some point mentions how powerful she, not to be cocky type of thing, but she knew how powerful she was,
yeah.
right? And she kind of
Absolutely was.
says that and says how powerful she is, but says, well, besides Master Yoda,
right.
like Yoda has been the man for quite a while,
Sure.
apparently.
Long time. Yeah.
Yeah, this book does a very, very good job of explaining and showing what the Jedi do. And if you really go through the sequence of events, like through prequels to a religion trilogy, back to the sequels, you know how like Rey and Kylo, everybody used that term overpowered and stuff. Well, there's the full potentials of what the Jedis can become in the purest sense. This book is there with the purest sense. When we get to the prequels, it was just there for, like I said, peacekeepers and battling, but not this Force, mystery thing. And of course, Luke and Vader are not in that realm. They're there, especially Luke. Luke is a very new, just learning the Force. Like moving a lightsaber was groundbreaking to him. So we get to witness in canon now, again, because this old EU stuff did a very good job at it, in canon, how much Jedis really do influence and how much they're feared. Like, when we get into the Nihil, right, the main bad guy in this one, the main antagonist in this
Sons
book.
of Anarchy.
Yeah, which is a marauding biker gang, Tempest gang. It was so freaking cool. We'll have to break that down. When we get into them, they even knew, like, we got to do this, and if the Jedi are coming, we're screwed. That's it. Like, yes, I would love to kill one, but at the same time, I still want to do what I got to do. Like, they are feared, and that's awesome. You know what I mean? So,
there's lots of them still.
And there's lots
there are tons of them.
Reminds me of the book Shatterpoint, Mace Windu's, right? Mace Windu had a very specific talent that he did. And that brings this back to, like, every single Jedi uses the Force and sees the Force different, but they also have, every single one has their strengths. So they're not all, like you said in the prequels, are not all the same, basically the same structured, which...
And there was a point like when Buryaga, right, the Wookiee, he has a very good side for emotions and feelings.
Yes.
And they mentioned that. They're
Yes.
like, you know what? I didn't sense anything, but Buryaga might. That's his talent. That's where his talent lies.
I like that they translated his speech too, so we
Yeah,
knew
yeah, yeah.
what was going on in his head. And it
Very
wasn't
helpful.
Me too.
Growling.
And bless him, I loved him too. God, see, there wasn't a Jedi in here I didn't really dig. And
Very humble.
Buryaga's
Very humble.
really good.
Yeah.
I liked how humble he was, how everybody was trying to congratulate him for a thing that he does, and he's just like, go away, leave me alone. I just want to be here in the corner.
Yeah.
And the poor guy would get frustrated with nobody understanding him,
Yeah.
right? He was like, you know what? Everybody's just gonna give me dead stares and all this stuff. Poor guy on one end, but second, he's really, it was a great Jedi, great character. I'm really digging it.
Is the dark side a thing
No.
right now?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
As you're
Is it?
saying,
Yes.
you like all these Jedis and everybody's cool. Do you get to hint of, that seems, as we say about everybody,
We know
there's
it
a little dark side in them.
We know it exists, right? There's the Blade of Bardotta. I'm gonna look at his name real quick. Hold on. Porter Angle. That's right, Porter Angle. The Blade of Bardotta. He's been a Jedi for 300 years.
Right.
Okay. Now he's a cook.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Right.
Yeah.
Very lighthearted until need be.
Right.
to need it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
he had said something about not letting his anger take control, not letting his hatred take control because he's about ready to do battle, right? He just changed modes. He's all, I won't let my anger take control because we all know what the anger leads to. So, I mean, the dark side exists. They
Nice.
they teach about it. They know about it. And in the Test of Courage, like I said, there is darkness appears in that one.
Got it. But
And
in
it
this
just-
book,
it
I
could-
didn't get a sense of it. Yeah, but yeah.
So that one Jedi is like a Steven Seagal Jedi.
Yeah.
He's your cook, but then he comes in all badass when he needs to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
basically.
that one took me a minute to get into it.
Right? That's what I'm thinking.
I didn't quite understand this character for a minute or what it was or what he was.
Right.
Right. But you know what he is?
Yeah.
You know what Bardota is?
Isn't it the guys with the lines on their face?
It's those are Utapauans.
Oh, okay.
Aha, Marco. No, get this. The arc
I'll write it
you
down.
guys all do not agree with me on Clone Wars. The one I think is arc.
Oh, yeah. The droid arc.
No, other one.
Oh.
Jar Jar and Mace.
Oh,
That's
fine.
Bardota.
Okay.
So that's where he's from.
Okay.
Those are his people. So that's
all right.
pretty funny. That I like that arc. So whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever. No, I'm kidding.
My favorite Jar Jar arc, and it's canon.
Wow.
But anyway, that's where he's from. So it's neat little drops like that when you can figure things out. But you have to look that up. I mean, I don't remember part.
We've also
No.
got
Right.
the second set of villains who are eventually going to make themselves known in the High Republic, and those are dark side villains.
They are. Okay.
The plant creatures. They announced that in the announcement, the big High Republic reveal.
I didn't get, like I said, I missed
Yeah.
that part about dark side. I know that they were like a hive mind, plant based kind of thing.
Hive
so-
mind plant based that are driven by the dark side.
Yeah,
and
and then-
there's
Wow.
I'm telling you, there's something hinted at with one of the Nihil that I'm thinking.
Hey,
I'm
man.
thinking some
There's a
dark
couple
stuff.
things with the Nihil where I don't think the Nihil, the people we know, are in charge. I think there's still something else above them. I don't know. They didn't say that. They didn't say that.
They didn't
No,
say
they
it.
didn't.
Yeah.
I'm with Vintage Rebellion. You just said plant Sith, plant based. Are we talking like? Are
Yeah.
we talking like
Vegans.
poison ivy,
Vegans.
or are we talking
Vegans.
like?
Monsters.
like
monsters.
Impossible to kill monsters that like to eat people.
Yeah.
I believe Kevin Scott gets to run with those.
Yeah.
And Kevin Scott's a horror dude.
Yeah.
And these are like monsters.
He says
Like-
they're
like,
terrifying.
There is a concept art too to look it up too if you find it really cool looking.
Little Shop of Horrors or Jason the Wheel Warriors?
Swamp.
Or Little
Think
Shop of
Swamp Thing, but more
Oh,
Swamp Thing,
Yeah.
but more swampy.
more
no,
plant,
I'm
more
on.
plantless,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
I'm on the Swamp Thing then. All right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
that is.
So we don't know
menacing.
anything yet
Yeah.
with
That's
those.
cool.
Yep. And then like this Nihil thing, that their setup is they have
Okay.
a rule of 3, and they're pretty rad too. I love it. They've got one person who's the eye,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Martian Row.
Martian Row. Right?
I love their setup,
Who-
Matt. Yeah, they're
You
they're called-
realize after a while, I mean, as a straight gangster, you may not like him in the beginning, but
Yeah.
keep holding in.
Yeah, no, Martian
It's no less,
Way
way less,
less
man,
man, more
way
play.
less, man.
Martian Row, in the beginning,
Way
Martian
less.
Row feels very emo to me. He feels like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not quite the threat. He's very kind of low key.
Yeah.
So-
Definitely.
So the
then-
let's do the setup, right? So the Nihil are set as a hierarchy. So Martian Row is the eye of what they call himself as the storm, and then they call himself Tempest Rider. So it's structured like
clouds.
every storm or every cloud has what is it? Cloud and storm or cloud or
It goes from the eye to the tempest leaders, right?
the 3, yeah.
To the clouds,
Okay.
right? Like that. It
Yes.
just- boom, 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 they're
So
people.
it's set up very it's just like and it's because of how they attack and they come attacking on this big freaking like electrical storm and then the ships appear. But the eye has access to somebody else, and again, we won't break it down here, but it has somebody else that gives them foreseeable paths through the hyperspace, meaning they have mapped out hyperspace almost to a T where they can go to this person and be like, here's the path from here to here. And because they said hyperspace is not a distance, it's more of its own reality.
Yeah.
And
they talk about hyperspace science in this that we've
Yeah,
never heard
so
before.
freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's everything has lanes. So hyperspace has lanes. It's like a big freeway system. Millions and billions of lanes, and the Republic depend on it for trade. Every planet depends on the hyperspace routes for this. Now the Tempest or the Nihil have figured out a way to travel undetected, and go from point A to point B to pillage, marauder, do whatever, get out, like get in, get out, and so they become a sort of a ghost enemy in this whole thing. Like people have heard of them, but they really haven't seen them. But the ones who have come across are all dead. Like they come in, they pillage, they take, and then they have the rule of 3. You know, 1/3 goes to the eye, and then they split up. Whatever, you know. So that's the eyes.
To the leaders to the clouds, right?
Right.
And the eye doesn't do anything.
Exactly. The eye's kind of like a figurehead. He's kind of like just the one who disperses the information.
Correct.
He gives them the path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's your path, and he has to vote. There's 3 leaders and him, so there's 4 right in the room.
Right.
The 3 of them are really the leaders, but he has the path, so he has the final say.
Yeah.
Anytime they vote, if it has to do with a path, his vote's the one that matters. Like if it's 2-2, and he's on one of this side,
whatever
this
the
side
eye
wins.
votes. Correct.
Whatever the eye votes. So if you're, so you have some of the leaders in here that'll watch how the vote's going. Like it doesn't matter. I'm not going to say anything.
Right.
It's whatever he, you know, you have one of them that does that. Keeps Lorna D. Right.
Lorna
keeps
D,
her ideas to herself. Doesn't say anything. You know?
It's very cool, interesting idea because again on this sort of hierarchy, I haven't really come across even in EU. There's always been like this rampaging alien race or sweep gang, right? The sky the swoop raiders or the whatever. But
Cloud
riders, thank you. And but this was like just a abundance of them, and they do like this whole thing in the book where they do take over this group of ships, and then how they divvy it up. And if they lose something in the process, like they lose loot, somebody has to pay for it, and usually it's by death or whatever. I mean,
yeah,
it's
you
very...
gotta sacrifice somebody. You cost us this, you're paying this, you paying the price,
Yeah,
and that's what they say: pay the price.
Yeah,
they're chanting it,
Yeah, and they're all high. They're all smash on smash, right?
Smash. We're not dealing with spice right now. We're dealing with smash.
Right.
This is Coke, straight up Coke.
Right.
That's what's going on.
Yeah,
I decided now spice is pot. Right? Easy. Spice is cool. They think they legalize it in some systems. We're okay. Smash is only legal in Oregon. It's in Oregon. That's it. It's the only place you can get Smash.
Okay.
And they love heavy metal.
They start. Oh wait, what's that called? I wrote that down too. What's it
that
called?
was fun. That was
Wreck
funny.
punk.
Yeah,
They
wreck
make
punk.
the music from wrecked pieces of starships.
Oh, we're being
was
serious.
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's wreck punk.
Holy crap. Wow, that's awesome.
In the
And it's
audiobook,
rad,
you get
the
the soundtrack. It's great. It's great music.
funny, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Kevin Thompson produces that, and I jumped on his deal, telling him just how that and Avar's Song of the Force, those two scenes by themselves are worth the book.
Right.
I mean,
Wow.
just because it just gets you really pumped. That and Lena So's speech, I really dug that.
Yeah.
No, it's and then there's a part in the book where they're even when we're marauding on like when they're going after a thing, they get just so like again high on smash, and they blast the music in their ears and they just go at it. And they don't care, man. They just don't care about who they kill. They don't. They only know is like we're going in there and getting out, and
They
it's
go
like
into battle lit up.
yeah, they
Like
do.
there's a point where there's a mistake made because they look at somebody and their one organic eye is all glazed over still because they're high on.
It really gives you an idea of gangsters or like a motorcycle gang.
Yeah.
That,
It's-
you know
oh,
what I mean?
I've described it as Sons of Anarchy several times.
Right.
It's so
Is Smash spelled differently or no? It's Smash.
no smash.
Smash.
Wow.
Yeah.
Smash and Spice. That's it. So loving that new piece. That was a fun little romp through there. So the go ahead.
No, I wanted to ask you. You can keep going on with this, but real quick, the Jedi are flying these ships now.
Vectors.
Vectors. Did they happen to show that in the comic, or I can
Yes.
just look it up? I'd love
It
to
did.
see it
The
because
Vector to me helped a lot. That's why I was saying that the Great Jedi Rescue. That as soon as I looked at that, I saw the Great Disaster happening. I saw the Vectors. I saw everything, and some of the Jedi that weren't on the infographic.
I'd
Okay,
love to
we're
see
completely
because
straight.
how they described it, and there's like really not even controls. They're really just controlling with their minds and whatnot. And
You don't get that kind of feel in there. To be honest, it looks like one of the prequel starfighters.
That's what I'm saying. The Jedi
Okay.
Starfighters, right? The
Yeah,
triangle.
okay,
The cool thing the thing that I like about the Vector the most is that it is powered by the lightsaber. It's
That's
powered by their kyber crystal. So whatever color their kyber crystal is, that's the color that the cockpit will light up. That's
Yeah.
the color of the laser blasts that shoot out.
Oh, that's sick.
See,
It's so
it's
unique.
rad.
I know where
love
they
it.
got that. I know where they got that idea. Okay, and we're gonna talk into the gaming later, but they got that from the games that we play. Because if you get whatever color kyber crystal you have, your weapons light up or your gear lights up with that same thing. But we brought this up in our private chat about Kyber key locking weapons and gear and controls, all from I think it's called Kyber locking or something like that, which is awesome. Another thing to bring in, and also another mention besides, the Kyber. One of the Jedi is the one with the white lightsaber. I forgot her name.
They
also
that
I mentioned how curing the Kyber crystal from an ancient Sith crystal, turning it from red to white, and having a bond with that, getting rid of its anger. Again,
like so much more bonded with that way.
Yeah. It's so
she
cool.
saved the Kyber crystal, so it bonded with. Yeah.
Marco, your games that you do.
Yeah,
those ones.
Yeah, so the MMO that I played, the Old Republic one,
Right.
in there is the whole thing where whatever Kyber crystal you choose will light up your weapons fire, your saber fire, of course, or your glow.
That's cool because those games are huge.
Yeah.
So to shout that out in that way for that specific group, that's awesome.
When I recognize it as that, like that being in something that's been in it for years, I'm like, that is. I don't know if it's a direct thing, but it's just cool how it's coming full circle. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
In that world too. So love it. Yeah. So like I said, I was shocked with the Nihil at first. When we're going through this, like we were kind of, what's the big bad? Is the Great Disaster something that we're just going to deal with? What is the Great Disaster? The Nihil, they pretty much did this early on in the book, and they have a role to play throughout the entire book. And
they're leading up to something else because by the time at the end, Ro has changed quite a bit from the way we met Ro.
Right.
And it's like, and it was always there, but it's like, oh, what's next?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at right now. I was like, okay, I'm ready.
I never wanted I never wanted a sequel to a book so quick.
Yeah. Seriously, man.
Because so these were the goons. These guys are the goons. The Nihil are the goons because there is a bigger boss man behind.
We don't know that.
Yeah,
we're kind of wondering if it's another bigger boss man or a separate threat.
Okay.
I can't tell if Ro is the mastermind here because it feels like he talks himself down too, right? His position as the Eye is handed down as well. Right, so he got it from his father, who had the past and what have you. And he's mentioned a couple times that he's not as smart as his dad or things like that. He seemed like he puts him. So I don't know. I don't know if he's the big bad or if he has something to prove or what. We're trying to figure that out over time. Right.
Okay.
This is a 3-year or 4-year deal.
It also feels like there's more to him. I mean, he's not as cut and dry as he's portrayed. By the end of the book, there's more to this character that we're going to learn as the story progresses.
And he has mentioned his family's history with the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it means.
Well, think about it. He was the one that was so feared. Like, hey guys, when you're doing these runs, you attracted the Jedi, and he's the one.
We don't want to deal with the Order.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Call it the Order.
Yeah, he's the one that was, and the other guys were like, so what? We'll kill. I've always wanted to kill a Jedi, and I mean, he's the one like, you do this, we're done. We're our business plan is done. Like the Nihil. Will cease to exist basically if the Jedi find out who we are and where we are, right? I mean, he was very concerned about it.
Yeah, the Force Choke podcast just asked if there's anything we're all y'all are critical about. He's not feeling the story right now.
Okay, I mean,
is Lewis?
I think I don't know. It's just Force Choke podcast.
But there's nothing. It took me a minute. I had to restart. Are you doing audio or
it's going to take him a second to reply.
I will say this though, on that behalf, as far as being critical, like I think we've all experienced this. The first half of the book, it's hard because there's too many names, too many systems, and when it plays like Rogue One.
Yep.
You're here, we're here, and it goes
Lewis.
back, and it continuously goes back and forth. Now, once you get past that, I'm telling you, once you get past that and things get clearer in the book, and that last third of the book, you're like, I think I binged that last 4 hours of the book because it was so like on my edge. Where before I like do a half an hour here, half an hour there, half an hour there. Once everything comes into fruition, once the plan and the Great Disaster is completely set, that's when I believe it takes off. It's again, anything brand new is going to be hard to get into because you can't put things in perspective.
When it helped me with those books, watching the visuals, either the infographic, because they put the infographic out, right? You can pull that online and go through each of the
that's
Jedi
cool,
at least, right? That and the Great Jedi Rescue, like I said, helped me, and the comic would probably help a bit too. Having the visual pieces there and knowing who they are, absolutely took away I had the same thing. I said the same third. I spend too much time thinking, who is this? What does Loden Greatstorm, who we haven't even talked about yet,
Right.
Loden Greatstorm, what does he look like? What's he doing? Blah, blah.
At first for me, Lewis, my biggest gripe was the Great Disaster. And I was mentioning it in our personal chat that it didn't feel great. It didn't.
I still don't think of this as a great. Honestly, I still don't think of. Do you? I mean, I understand. For sure. Yeah, I understand what caused it. I'm sorry, Scott. I understand what caused it, and I understand what it was. But it was like a great disaster to me is something that's. I mean, maybe the clogging of the hyperspace lanes. That was like something that's a potentially be a great disaster. I don't know.
Okay. I don't think you want to give away the plot.
1.4 billion people by the end of this. It was a pretty big disaster. Yeah. And they didn't. The thing is, they don't know what's causing it.
Right.
That's why it's a disaster. That's why they have no clue what's happening or what's going on. I'm sorry, Scott.
I don't even remember where I was going.
Okay. They don't have any idea where it's coming from. So to them, they lost 1.4 billion. And economically, right? This is taking a bit of time.
Yeah.
They're in quarantine. They've quarantined the hyperspace lanes.
They're getting stimuluses,
right? This is all for
serious.
real.
I'm
not
for
real.
Yeah.
You're not kidding?
No, financial stimulus. Yeah.
Wow.
This is one of those Star Wars during the times, right? And that's how it should be. Every generation of Star Wars, their politics are part of the times.
Right.
This whole book, actually, even if you look at the Nihil, let's be honest, okay?
Yeah.
They all think they're fighting for freedom and doing all these wonderful things,
right?
But they make a point in the book. They're not really. They still have a hierarchy. They still have to say what their boss tells them to do. Right? That kind of stuff is real world type thinking.
Sure.
Right? Everybody's, this is our freedom. You still got to do what you got to do. And there's still laws and consequences and things like that.
Hey, Chris, real quick before I lose it. And so, listeners live and listeners to the podcast, where can we get that sheet that you pulled up? Is that a StarWars.com thing?
I just put in a High Republic infographic, and it's I think it's on StarWars.com, but it's also a couple other sites that put it up.
And then the other book that you used that was a good visual?
The Great Jedi Rescue.
That's the kids' book or no?
It's a kids' book.
That's a kids' book. Okay, but that's
you got it.
So
Great Jedi Rescue by Kevin Scott, and that was a legit $4 buy right there. And that helped me get through that first third. And again, silliness. I just want to collect it all because right now this is the floor, right? We're on the floor of the High Republic. We're going to keep going and going and building.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss anything. In fact, Star Wars Insider, they do specials in there too. And Charles Soule had written Starlight #1, which is like a prequel to this. So I had to subscribe to Star Wars Insider again. I haven't subscribed to Star Wars Insider in quite.
I was just gonna say, dang.
Yeah, to be honest, I hadn't even seen it. Star Wars Insider.
Good thing we didn't have passwords back then. They're all, please use your password. I don't know. But I think that's such a great help because, as Moocher is saying, it is so hard to get into something new.
It is.
No,
and being pushed out like this, and hey, we're trying to create this new thing and everything. So I get what Lewis is saying.
Yeah.
We got Savage in the chat. I know he was saying that he liked it. I saw him post a couple things like that.
Yeah.
So seeing a visual to me, that's my end. I know you guys love the audiobooks, and Scott mentioned it to Ramos to jump on that too, to listen to that. But even when I hear the audio and everything and we have something new, I'm gonna need to print that stuff or get that children's one.
Yep.
I need those ones because I need those because I had a hard time. I had to go back to it twice. And
I would too.
I went all the way to the second half of the book and go, I can't do this. I got to go back and try to read just again and start taking notes about the stuff. But like I'm the youngest of the group and I have the hardest time trying to put all the faces and names and all the what the alien species were and try to look them put them with the name of the face, whatever it is. I was having a hard time, but I'm gonna look that up and
it made it so much easier. And that's why that's what I told everybody is this is why they couldn't just jump to the High Republic. I mean to the Old Republic. They cannot do that to Fuggles, right? They can do that to some people, but not everybody. You have to baby step it. This is a great baby step because you still have Yoda, you have Ren Sissies, even though you don't know Ren Sissies or Poof or anything, you'll recognize them when you see them. Regular fans, if they put a cartoon out or something, people are going to recognize.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
And I still think we see a Wookiee Jedi. They're still all very relatable to what we know. Then you step back a little bit with somebody recognizable from here, because now you're going to realize the blade from Bardotta is 300 years old. So you can go back a little bit more, and a little bit more, and all of a sudden, before you know it, we're 2,000 years back, and we're dealing with some big stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, like I said, if you're struggling with the first book, just finish it. You got to finish it because it really ties it in at the end. I know we're leaving a lot of stuff out, and that's on purpose.
Yeah, because this is still new, fresh.
Yeah, because
we don't want to spoil
still
the whole
Right,
thing, but it's exciting. We have a lot to talk about. Like that some of the characters in this book that are not Jedi or bad guys.
Right.
Josh and Arden.
Yeah.
There are a couple that are helping out with the Great Disaster that were there at the very beginning, right? This is also who the Starlight #1 by Charles Soule, the comic Inside Star Wars Insider, is about. I love this couple, and I want this relationship forever for everybody.
Yeah.
If you can't find somebody that Arden sees it, Joss knows he's ugly as hell, right? Like, I love it. He mentions it like 10 times. All the time. But there is a point where she just talks about how handsome he is and loves him and this and that. I love this relationship, and they know they're about to go on vacation. They end up having to deal with all this madness.
Right.
And I just think them being part of this group too was a cool ad, because it can always be Jedi versus bad guy. But they added a lot of cool side characters too that were really relatable, really neat, and it's we are all the Republic popping up. You know what I mean? It's like it's not just the Jedi and not just bad guys. It's everybody.
Yeah.
It's neat.
Like I said, to kind of summarize this book of this phase. Again, I think I went through it, and my overall reaction is like 8 out of 10 for me, because I had to put it in its place. I had to kind of recognize. I actually pulled up some concept art to get my head around certain actions like the Nihil and some of the Jedi and whatnot, and you put together the tragedy that's in this. Like, to me, it's more of a great tragedy, more of a great disaster. Like, it's more of a tragedy because it's just so many lives lost in this thing, and not just from the emergencies. There's good things that are happening, and people, they don't hold back on this. There's battles. Some of the battle scenes are amazing, especially when the Jedi get involved with the Nihil, and the space battles are awesome, and the science behind it is awesome with the hyperspace lanes
and different weapons. Loden Greystorm, I believe it was shooting off a lightsaber
cannon
blaster.
Yeah,
like he powered his blaster with a Kyber. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? It's like they all have like our Nerf guns when the kids had them. You can put all these attachments on it and change things around. That's what they have. Like, oh, put this on my gun and shoot out.
One blast, like one charge. They use the Kyber crystal as that charge, and it's just so. Again, it's very Star Warsy in that aspect. I mean, there is no family drama. There is no, of course, Skywalker.
Oh, there's no "I am your father" type stuff.
Right.
There's drama involved,
but there is, and again, putting the Sentecas in this almost out in front. I mean, they are the driving key to this, and I'll have to. I'm going to ask you guys a question off air because I have there's something that I'm not clear on. I don't want to bring it up here because it's a very major spoiler. In this thing, so I'll do that. But having them in there, I thought it was cool because again, it's going to make Force Awakens make even more sense. So again, I think so far out of the gate, 8 out of 10 for me on this book.
I think I started out 8.5 because I had a problem with that first third, right? Just like I think everybody does.
Yeah.
Second go around, man, beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful. It's not the same situation as Aftermath, right? Where I had to get through the whole trilogy.
I read it twice
to come back and do Aftermath a second. I've been to Aftermath probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Wow. Now it's great. Now I'm good with it because I know where it's going. I know the characters. Again, people I didn't know.
100%.
And that's part of the problem. So I didn't want to keep the score down because of my problem with understanding. That's my comprehension, not Charles Soule's giving it. He's just giving a lot of information. So I think going my second time around, I'm more of a 9 or 9.5. It's that good.
Wow. Okay.
Like I have that much involvement in these characters now to where I don't dislike any Jedi. I don't dislike any villain. I don't dislike any side character. I'm like, wow, everybody here is really
they definitely grow
character
on you.
And something I want to know about. I want to know more about
I know
stuff. So I'm left with this book, and like Scott said, I've never wanted the sequel to a book. I want to keep going. I'm ready to go to the next book. Right now.
Scott, what's your score?
Scott, what did you rate it? Yeah.
I give it a 9. It's up there. I mean, it started off kind of low because, like I was saying, the Great Disaster, it didn't seem like it was building up to be as great as it eventually ended up. And there's still some questions. I think I need to listen to it again because of what ultimately happens, because there's a planet in danger and they jump away from it before anything really happens. But then in kind of a side note, oh, by the way, 2 point whatever billion people died.
Which one was it? Ariadu? Was it Tarkin's plan? Because they were at Ariadu.
Ariadu. I'm talking about Hetzel because Hetzel was the prime target.
I wrote it down for you because I went back on that because you and I discussed that. Hold on, let me find it real quick.
Because they hinted at the fact that it's kind of saved, but maybe not, and then Ariadu gets hit.
Hetzel.
Okay, Hetzel.
And then there is Abdalis.
Okay.
Abdalis was 20 million.
Okay.
That's what it was.
20 million.
The other one was 1.2 billion.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoa.
The Ariadu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's body count,
we
dude.
spoiled a little bit there, but
just a little. But
okay. Well, here's the thing I'm gonna do then. So we said that Ariadu is Tarkin's planet.
Yes.
Tarkin came from there, and he acts like he does for a reason. That's he is, and that's how his people are.
And
as soon as this bad thing happens, like the moment, they don't cry, they don't blast, they're all, you just screwed with us and we're hunters.
Yeah.
There is nowhere you're gonna go that we're not gonna find you.
We want revenge.
Even the enemy, it was scared at that after what they did.
Yeah.
Oh, because all I thought was this is Tarkin's great grandfather's great grandfather.
Yeah.
He's gonna wreck some stuff. It wasn't, I'm sure, but I hope it was because they were putting the fear of God in that character.
Yeah.
Was Tarkin never on Ariadu?
Yeah.
I thought he was.
No, that's
He's
his
from
home
Ariadu.
planet.
In his book.
Yeah, that's his home planet.
It's his home.
No, I know that, but I was trying to figure out how far back it was and how old he was when he was in New Hope.
He's like 70 by A New Hope, so he's not born now. It's his great grandfather.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
Right. I was just wondering. Because you said it was hit. Like I didn't know if that
there's
was
more
the
to
thing.
that. There's more to
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
So
If we told you exactly what happened, it'd be a spoiler.
I don't want to.
Oh
know.
yeah.
Right.
So Mike, you haven't finished the book, but so far.
No, I don't think. I don't know that it'd be fair for me to give.
Okay.
But I liked it. I like it so far. I don't have a number that.
But you're gonna continue it, right? Like you're gonna finish.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I absolutely. Yeah.
And I know Joey and Ernie haven't read it and everything,
Well,
but from
That's
what you
the whole
guys,
reason why I wanted. That's the whole reason why I wanted to hear Chris's and Scott's and Mike's and yours input on it before I bought the book or the audio book.
Fair enough.
So,
Fair enough. Seriously. Like,
and I'm totally with Lewis, Force Choke podcast. He says he only read issue 1 of comic. It felt dry, didn't feel like an adventure, and hopefully he can get into it more. And that's what's hard for me as us being these types of fans. That's why I like our diverse group.
Yeah.
I know you guys are going to read it. So that's cool. And I'm always waiting for Scott and Chris and yours breakdown of it, just like what Bootleg is saying, so that I can get to know the story of, you know what, I'm going to get this. And we don't have that much material, but it is something they're going to push out so that I could collect the comics later.
Yeah.
Have that as a good read. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%.
It's harder for some of those types of fans that know everything. And then you guys, where you go hardcore, like Chris said, I'm already my 3rd time around. I had to get this. I had to get that.
Yeah,
and knowing that stuff helps. But it's also cool for fanboy who's looking for information and wanting to learn this. We got Brian in the chat who was just like you and said the same thing, Mikey, as far as he was struggling because you got 50 different characters. He doesn't know who they are. That's exactly where I would be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take notes.
We're going to start doing that on I'm going to start doing a hot topic special, right? We talked about right when I came on early.
Chris, you don't know how happy you just made me with that statement because I really wanted it. That would be great.
We're going to try and do little snippets, 2 to 5 minutes, whatever the hell, about a certain character.
We'll make our own companion
Light of the
pieces.
Jedi, right?
What's that?
The first book is Light of the Jedi.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one you guys are reading. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to set up pretty much the timeline going forward. Yeah, and Chris is going to do the hot topics that are going to, like I said, react like our companion pieces to this right here to help people. I know that a while ago someone made a comment like they like our book reviews because we're doing the reading, for them, and we get to talk about it, and it gets them excited about it.
That's where I sit back and listen. I'm like,
Ernie literally says that.
Yeah, that's me and Joe, right, Joe? For real, it's like, it's story time. Let me get my snacks.
Throw our blanket out, get our carton milk.
Hey,
exactly.
I do the same. I do the same thing. I know that like with all the past books, I've only read maybe 50% of the back catalog of the new canon. Chris and Scott pretty much do it all, and I wait for their reviews, and then I get then I can ask them questions, So,
right.
But with this, it's like starting over. It's like starting from scratch. That's what I'm more intrigued.
And we are honest about them. And I tell you, I know the books I don't like. I don't love them all.
Yeah.
When it's a good Star Wars book, I'm into it. And for the most part now. Remember the beginning of Canon, I was getting a little bored with it. Remember I was talking about they're not really going anything big. Right. They need a big event.
Right.
This is the big event. This is what we needed. This is 100% what we needed.
It's
this
awesome.
in the Thrawn
and that's
series.
Of probably why we like it so much is you're honest about it. And you'll give us, okay, this was stupid. This was a crap part, but you know what was awesome?
Right.
And that's what brings, like me and Joe into it. And we already know that Moocher's your biggest fan. So that's
exactly
right. There ain't nothing like that. But me and Joe are zipping our sleeping bags together, making one big one. Got a fire ready. We're like, let's go, Chris. What do you got? And then Scott with all the facts and everything.
Yeah.
And then Mike with his questions of learning. I mean, that's great. I'm appreciating all the chatter in chat tonight of everybody giving their info and like that too, because this is exactly what we need for the start of something.
Yeah.
And then real quick, I wanted to bring up when you guys were mentioning about the Nerf stuff. Cliff, welcome to the show. Who brought up a good point of, man, that's a call to Ezra's lightsaber.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yes. You guys were saying that.
Well,
I'm like, okay, so then that building of different Nerf is, dude, if this gets big, we're going to get that stuff.
Yeah.
100%.
That particular section of the book was a makeshift thing, spur of the moment kind of stuff. It wasn't like his lightsaber that was attached. He took it off a ship to use for that purpose, a one-time cannon blast. But he used the saber as the ammunition. It was just
regardless.
But like that is how we tied it. Right. How we tie it into something of, like Ezra's done.
Love it.
I get a visual of that then as far as, okay, I get it. And then I just wanted to ask Savage, because he's in the chat, what was your rating out of a 10?
I know he liked it. I know that, but let him do it. But,
I know what his rating is.
Yeah.
Nice.
9.5.
Nice. Wow, that's really good.
I focus on everybody. I
know exactly.
Cool.
We follow.
I didn't see that. I saw his post
I'm just playing.
The beginning, and I did it just for the purpose of this chat. I didn't want to spoil and get into anything.
Nice, Joey.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to spoil anything out there, because I was seeing there was a lot of chat on Twitter and on Instagram about it, which to me is good. I think
the reception has been actually pretty good. I've seen a lot of people delve into this and actually buy it, pre-order, get into it, and right away. I mean, a lot of people we know and interact with too, right away got into this. At first, I thought we were kind of alone in it, right? Like, I mean, we were hyped of it because we have our
like the only advocates out there. That
I did. The three of you were the only ones that I heard hyping it up, and I'm like, as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, this is a hard point to do, and in my head, as Chris is saying, the Fuggles, because we're coming off of Mandalorian,
right?
And now you're trying to introduce. You're trying to introduce this to everybody else.
It's a refreshing
I find
era.
It difficult.
It's a new era, and it's kind of refreshing because we're not in the oppressive state. We're not in the Galactic Empire state. We're not in the sequel, prequel, all that stuff. This is a brand, like I said, it is. And again, I don't even think the EU had this sort of time frame either. So brand new to everybody.
Really.
So and again, I'm digging it. I am. I'm giving. Of course, we're into it now, right? Like I just told you guys, I just ordered all the hard hard copies of everything. I have the audio. I have it because again, I want to put it on a shelf now from like a timeline. This is the furthest back we were going until we start going further back. Like Chris said, everything they're introducing is going to staple it backwards and backwards. So. No, it's pretty good, man.
Keep pre-ordering everything because everything is selling out, right?
Yes.
They're on the third. They're on the third copy of this,
Yeah.
third printing.
Yeah,
Right. I do have. This is the original cover. I have a variant hanging on the wall now too. They're on the third printing.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And Justina Ireland's book has been back ordered since day one. I still haven't got a hard copy of it. That's why I had to show the picture of the book. I don't have the copy.
Scott,
I can't wait to get everything.
Scott, do you feel these comics are going to come out in those ones? What are they called? Because I know you do comics more, where they're all put together.
Graphic novels, or
graphic novel.
It'll definitely come back as a trade paperback.
I usually wait for that.
I do too.
I usually do. But I want to be in on the ground.
New, correct, right.
Right.
Awesome.
I can handle waiting for a Vader comic, even though I love them. I can wait for the graphic novel. With this, I don't want to get behind in the era.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's it.
Right.
But to Lewis's deal on the comic, I enjoyed the comic a lot. I did too. I love Skier. You
actually you see a Jedi Padawan go through a trial, go through the trials, and get knighted. And and she's a cool character that curses a lot. And she's always told that she curses too much. It's just a cool character. It was a different perspective. We don't normally see a belligerent Padawan go through their. It's entertaining, and things, of course, don't go as planned. So
it's a good introduction to a character.
Yeah.
What it is this is the backstory to the character.
Right.
That's what that was, because she wasn't really in the book.
Right.
This is, hey, here we are. Right. What did she do in the book? She wasn't in the book, right?
No, she wasn't in the book.
But Master Trennis was mentioned in Dooku. This is the character that I was trying to get at with Cabin when we interviewed him, about how he had dropped a name about the High Republic, right?
Okay.
Oh, Master Trennis. Oh, what a story that was, or how sad that was. There's a Trennis in here. We don't know if it's related or not, but that's Cape Trennis from this comic.
Oh wow!
Right on.
What I liked in there, as Scott mentioned it right here, is you see it when Anakin
the original
was knighted,
cartoon,
right? When Yoda cut off Anakin,
The Cartoon Network ones,
by the light of the the same exact quote. Me too. I love that, and that scene is one of my favorite scenes in all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so they did that whole deal again, making that ceremony canon the way exactly it was. And
Nice.
That was beautiful too.
That's cool.
Good stuff. I get that it wasn't adventurous or big. It was a training doing a trial. It wasn't, but it was a good number one to a set of comics, is how I saw that. Right.
And you can tell it's leading up to something big, because there's something going on with Master Skier.
Comics are a slow burn.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're gonna get one or two cool things, and there was one bit in there that was squirrely, but we won't call it out, Kevin, if you're watching. But yeah, there is one piece that's a little squirrely in the comic, but oh hell, you can't stop yourself with a lightsaber falling down a rock, right? It would just cut all the way to the bottom.
It doesn't.
All the way to the bottom.
There you go. We'll just leave it at that.
Oh, that is for good thought. Yeah,
but I also heard that he did backtrack on it, and he said, that was overlooked.
But here's the beautiful thing.
Ahsoka did it.
Ahsoka slowed down.
No, yeah. There's a difference between the two.
Ahsoka slowed down.
Yeah.
She was hanging with 2 feet of
yeah,
saber
that
out
doesn't
from the
work
rock.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess gravity would have stopped her. Okay, I can accept that.
Yeah. So Ahsoka was slowing down. We're she was just hitting the brakes.
Awesome.
Don't you ever say anything bad about Ahsoka.
No,
I don't have anything bad to say about her.
Right. I can't even get through all the Jedi that are in this book, by the way. And then
hot topic. We'll save that for a hot topic, and we'll have to put visuals
the comic
up.
was a solid 9 too. I don't like to give 10s ever, because I want something bigger and better next time.
Absolutely.
Right? If I give myself a 9.5 or a 10 all the time, I'm kind of screwed.
I think the last episode of the Mandalorian was a 10.
Last episode of Mandalorian might be the best Star Wars ever. I mean, like, seriously, the last 15 minutes is the best 15 minutes of Star Wars.
Besides Boba coming back, yes, you're right. That was.
Besides, where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Yes, besides where is Grand Admiral Thrawn? Yes.
Okay, Mandalorian was pretty awesome.
And we still got more. I think we still got more 10s in the works.
Right. I mean, so I'm giving pretty high scores on all these. So I would say Test of Courage is probably. I had to go through it again. Right now we're sitting at an 8 on it. I did like some of the lore. I like the talk of the Sith Wars. I need to go back through it again. We do deal with Nihil and some of the younger kids. I gotta redo it again. It must be one of those things where I'm just having trouble the first time through, or a little bit through with new characters, and new places. So I'm gonna start with the 8. That might change by next week. We'll go there. I'm a 9 on the comic, and I'm a solid 9.5, and I don't do that a lot on Light of the Jedi.
Worst Joke Podcast is 5 out of 10 on the comic.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm. It's not for everybody, I guess.
It's and here's
and that's that's a good thing about all the way around for all Star Wars fans, because some people take it as that.
And there's so much stuff.
I might be bored by it too.
Yeah, and there's so much stuff, right? Not everybody's going to like everything.
Correct.
And not everybody's going to read all the stuff. Some people are just going to go for the adult novel, right? They're not going to grab the junior high novel or the comic or anything else, or vice versa. They might just get the comics and not know about the other stuff. It would be kind of confusing in this scenario, because
if you're not already engulfed in the canon novels, it's going to be hard to jump into it.
Right. But even
it's a structure.
Lewis is. So it's not. That's not the case. But it's not going to be for everybody. Like all the new announcements, the 57 announcements of all these shows and stuff.
Yeah.
We as a group, me as an individual, I am not going to like everything.
Right.
At all. I'm probably going to despise 3 or 4 of those things. And that's okay. I can despise it all day. You know what I won't do? I won't go on Twitter and bash it. I won't go on Instagram and bash it. I'll make a point to where it fits, and I'll say where it fits, and we'll put it in its place in its little shelf.
Correct.
Slam it in and bring it up when we need to.
My advice, Lewis, is just finish the book, finish it, because it did change it around for me. If I left it off where I was at, I would have probably given it a 5 out of 10 first. But it did finish it to me, and I was like, wow, I'm ready for more, like what Scott said.
I was worried I was going down an Aftermath path where I was going to need to get the whole setup and come back.
Yeah.
I did not.
So,
I'm good.
So let's wind down on this because we do have like a little bit of a time restraint here. So look for a hot topic, and because I know Chris, we're really going to break down like Jedi and what's in there, and again help us all. Yeah, exactly. Chris and Scott's going to do it. So
sounds good.
And of course, we will be reading more on this podcast and bringing in more in stuff like that. So
Joe, we'll have to make play dates.
Yeah.
we can listen to Hot Topic.
I do want to
I just realized why am I just now realizing that Mike is gone?
Yeah, Mike dropped.
His dropped too. I don't know.
No.
It's pretty weird that you guys are saying that because I know we lost Joe in that. Mine's flickered a couple times actually.
Yeah, we lost Joe a minute ago and came back.
Right. No, and mine's flickered. Mine got flickered too here, and I was taking back like, okay, what? Why is Lucas invading our feed?
Turn him off now.
Right.
They're talking about
sideways.
Let's switch gears real fast because we did get some in my world.
Pulling wires everywhere.
In my world, look, Mike, fix your phone, Mike.
What's up, Mike?
In my world, things got a lot more fire in the Star Wars world. Fire, as the kids would say. A lot more fire in the Star Wars land.
So cool movie.
The terror of EA is coming to an end, and I say terror because the last 10 years that EA has had the exclusive license for Star Wars gaming comes to an end, and doesn't mean that they're going to create more. They're not going to create more games. It just means that Lucas Gaming is back, Lucas Arts, right? And they are opening it up to be like, hey guys, every studio. You can start, of course, after approval. You can start. And Ubisoft has already stepped in today and announced that they're doing another open world Star Wars game. They're developing it. So, again, this is where we should have been 10 years ago. I'm going to dedicate this segment to my rating team nemesis, that you guys know who you are. I know they're on here trolling me all the times in chat and everything. And but this is what we talk about when we game a lot. We talk about this for the last 10 years when we've been playing together, is that EA cannot have this monopoly because we already got 2 games in the last 10 years besides Rogue Squadrons and besides Fallen Order. Now, now that we're getting into our mid 40s to late 40s, we're going to start getting all, an open range of things. Like, where's our flight simulators? Where's our simulation games? I mean, that's what's been missing. And I've been saying this on this show for a long time. We don't talk about video games a lot because, again, in the past, it's only been 2. We got into Squadrons. Yeah, so now it's exciting that they open it up, and EA's contract it's up, and Disney recognized that, and they did not renew it. They're just going, look, let's put it out there. So,
Marco, with you being the gamer of this, my question to you was, does this open up everything old? Because what we have going around in gaming community right now is a resurgence of downloading old video games.
Sure.
Bringing stuff back, say on the Switch and everything.
Yeah.
So can you see that with all of those, Dark Forces and everything else that we used to play?
100%, man. Like,
does that open up that,
yes,
purchase online?
We can have shooters. We can have first-person shooter games, FPS.
So new ones.
Yeah,
I meant like a re-release of the old.
You're like remastered.
Why wouldn't they?
They've been remastering them a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If you go on like you said, the Switch or I just got Bounty Hunter last year.
I didn't even know that. I thought all that was locked.
Oh, I've been rocking Pod Racer for the last 6 months.
I didn't know
you
that,
can go on Steam and probably get like on PC and stuff, like on Steam.
Right.
If you have that, you can download Pod Racer.
But what I don't want to happen is a lock with PC, PlayStation, or Xbox.
No,
as far as exclusive for them.
Well, you're okay. I think there are certain games that are meant
that
for
it probably
PC.
Happened to.
Well, MMOs is a massive, the MMORPG games like World of Warcraft and Old Republic. Those are meant for computers because that is a highly resourceful, it takes a lot of resources to run that, and consoles I don't think are there with those. Yes, like Elder Scrolls, they do that on consoles, but I just don't think it's the same. So with those things that are
DC Universe did it for a while too. I don't know if it still goes.
it's still there.
DC Universe was
yeah,
pretty cool.
it's still on both platforms, but you can't play cross-platform on that. It's like PC, and then you have the console games. And it's again, I think the consoles have a little bit limited resource than a PC does. You know, you pay $2,000 for a PC versus a couple hundred. But universally, I think 99% of the games that'll come out will be cross-platform for console, handheld, mobile, you name it, man. They're gonna do everything. I think you'll get first-person shooters back. I think you're gonna get a Battlefront 3 is actually rumored, by the way. Battlefront 3, I don't know.
Star Wars edition?
No, Battlefront.
By somebody else or by them?
Battlefield is already. Battlefront is Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. It might be this. I don't know if it's the same studio that did Battlefront 2, but
Battlefield.
I thought the form. I mean, I thought the name was it, and it was Battlefront Star Wars. I didn't realize it.
Oh no, yeah. Like I said, Part 3 might be coming out. I mean, again, it just opens up the gaming world. It really does. It cuts those ties because again, EA first got a bad rap from the microtransactions, right? It got a bad rap for only producing 2 games in 10 years. And Old Republic wasn't one of them because that was BioWare before the Disney takeover. So like,
yeah, we had the what wasn't it the 1313 too?
Well, 1313 was abandoned, right? And they had screenshots and everything. You know, the Fallen Order. I think with the success of Fallen Order, people want that open world RPG kind of stuff. So I think you'll see more of that. I think you're going to see the range of it where you'll see VR coming into play with a TIE Fighter versus X-Wing game again. Maybe that was amazing. Dark Forces. I mean, there's so. It's just
what are you going to be most excited to see though? Like, what do you want to be worked on?
Me, I want a flight simulator. X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. I want that format back. I want that, and not just a fly around killing people. I want that. Stop shaking your head, Scott.
I can't remember the name. What was the double one with the Millennium Falcon on the cover for PlayStation?
Yeah, that was X-Wing.
I can't do those flight simulator ones, man.
You're always crashing.
Vertigo.
X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. That was a series, right? They had X-Wing, and then they had TIE Fighter. And X-Wing.
I'm with Joe though. Nintendo scared me to going to that Millennium Falcon one, but I love that one. Yeah. All because of stupid Top Gun, where you could never land.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I would kick butt at Street Fighter and Mario and everything.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Let's play Top Gun.
Yeah, I mean maybe we'll see
I had Top Gun on my Commodore 64. That's what I was rocking Top Gun on.
Wow.
Yeah,
Pole position. Let's go.
And it would go over and you'd crash. And
I want the return of the Masters of the Terras Kasai.
That's what I'm saying. The combat one. Yeah.
That I can do.
One.
But oh man, I would love it.
Terras Cassie.
Terras Cassie.
Whatever it is.
Canon.
I'm with Scott on that one.
Canon.
When she said
Kira
it,
said
that's what I was going to say. When
Kira said it wrong, then yeah, I guess.
So I want that too, but man, I would love it in like a Street Fighter artsy style.
Yeah.
And not that polygon stuff.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'll say this with Fallen Order. I mean, EA did a good job on it, but the controls on it was just wonky big time where
that's why I didn't.
You were just like there for hours trying to just jump on this one spot.
Yeah.
It gives other companies like Sucker Punch who did Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost?
Now, if a company like Sucker Punch gets a hold of a Star Wars themed game,
man,
possible.
Lights out.
Possible. Now it's possible.
Everybody will want to get in on it because it's money.
That game would be intense.
Star Wars is printing
money. Does anybody know this one that Papa Schmitty mentioned, or can you elaborate more, Papa Schmitty? Because I've never heard that one. What was Yoda Stories?
Okay. If correct me if I'm wrong in chat. Yoda Stories was a overhead PC style, like you control Yoda and you do like this. It's
like Zelda.
Kind of, yes, but it wasn't as controllable. Like there wasn't a.
I've never even heard of that.
My God, that brings back memories. If that's the same thing I'm thinking of, it's like an overhead map, and you have Yoda, and you go through these things. I don't remember the exact.
So it's basically the Legend of Zelda, just with Yoda.
No, but it wasn't as elaborate as Zelda. Like Legend of Zelda was like, my favorite game ever. But
okay,
it was a weird.
It's an old school TD.
Tiny green image, big ears.
It was the overhead view with the little tilt.
Yeah, I remember it. I just don't remember the.
So all you needed was a dot and a line because I was head in years, and that was it.
It wasn't that old, guys. I mean, this is like
words,
I was just checking.
Words on top.
Right,
like 15 years old, maybe, or 20. I don't know, but That was I remember that. I had it. I just don't remember the purpose of it, like what you did.
Of course, you had it.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the big news. That's the big news of Star Wars gaming.
I didn't hear it though. Was the open world going to be somewhere like Fortnite? Was that the idea?
No, that's battle royale, right? So Fortnite is like a battle. It's called a battle royale game, meaning there's teams and there's roles to play, and you just go in there and kill each other. First person shooter, first person shooter is like Doom. The old, remember the Republic Commando games on Xbox. It's like that, and then you have your RPG games, which is like Fallen Order. That's open world like Arkham Knight, Arkham City.
There you go. The Arkhams, the Spider-Mans, things like that.
Gotcha.
Those are open world, what we were talking about. Right?
That's
you want to be able to span around Coruscant, walk around Tatooine, do stuff, and explore.
Still need a Mortal Kombat style.
That's what I'm saying. Terra Cassie.
Terrace Cassie.
And then you can have your simulator games like your pod racing, your space simulator. We're missing that. We're missing that in this.
There's so many cool things. Well, we kind of got a simulator in this last one.
It's a flights. It's a space battle PvP kind of stuff.
What was the Road Squadron one or whatever?
I didn't feel like you guys stayed on that game too long. Like,
what was that?
Dude, I play it all the time, man. I still average 0 kills per round. I have 13 kills in my career, and I have
keeping that high score.
That's amazing, Chris.
I even let my kids play, and I'm still in the teens. It's crap.
That's amazing.
I like the game. I just suck.
I tried playing it like a couple of days ago, and I lasted probably about a half hour on it.
That was it.
But I did this one thing where I just started spinning. I put the controller down. I'm done.
Yeah.
Getting vertigo off of it and everything.
Dude.
But I'm not good at it, man. I like role playing, like not the open world. Like Arkham
RPG.
Games, right?
RPG
I loved the Arkham games. I loved Shadows of the Empire, things like that, where I get to.
Okay, Shadows of the Empire.
I want to be the character, interact. That's what I.
And remember
Give me
too.
Like that. I mean,
everything that comes out is canon, right? So anything they make is going to have canon. So going back and redoing a Shadows is not going to happen, right? Unless that's being brought in. That was the announcement. That was the purpose of revamping everything. It can be
totally canon. It's easy to make that canon.
Okay, so there was a game to where you could start off like your own character and you're like a Padawan.
This is why the game that I play, right, this the Old Republic, the MMO, it's because it's pre-Disney. It's the only one now that's active that is not canon. But there is a lot of things that could be like, I'm wishing one day they would just take that game and just add it to the collection because it's so far obscure and it doesn't really affect. Well, it doesn't affect what we know today. I mean, they can still do it, and you are your own person. See, that might be a little bit why you can't create your own characters and stuff, which I hope they get away from that. Let's get, like I said, the gaming doesn't all have to be canon. Maybe story mode, stuff like that, but all
you have to do is say, this one's not canon.
Yeah, that's
This is Legends.
Yeah. Which I'm hoping they do.
Yeah, like literally a bar on the front of it or a sticker or something like that.
It says Legends.
Fantasy.
But you know how that would confuse people? And I'm just talking about muggles. Like, they're like, I thought this was supposed to be Star Wars, and like, no, that's
throw a fantasy play on it.
Yeah.
So, because I want the old school fighters,
that's what I like a choose your own path type of game where you can choose to be a Jedi.
That would be cool.
Go to the dark side or whatever.
Give me a Force Unleashed 3. Give me a new MMO to play. Even if it's Old Republic revamped or even in the Galactic Empire. I mean, again, possibilities are endless. I love it. This is good news. I've been toting this news for a long time. Even go back 3 years when we started this podcast. I was like, well, I don't have this game to play, and this is what I play. And
I believe you went on a soapbox about this very
topic. I did several times.
He did.
About down with EA and let it go open up the free market.
It's like my second or third episode. I remember just going, okay.
Yeah, every time a game comes around, I'm like, poor Marco. He's probably hating this right now.
Yeah, right.
I bet it's gonna suck for Marco.
I did finally get PlayStation Plus, so
what?
You can play
together.
I can play now. Party.
All right.
Yeah, Ronald Ramos brought up, and that was my whole reason. That's where I hope it doesn't get back to that, but that's exactly why I got Xbox on Soul Calibur, a fighting game.
Right.
Yoda was playable.
Yeah.
But it was only on Xbox.
Right.
I was like, oh, well, here goes my first Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
didn't PlayStation have Vader or something like that? something to
He
wrong,
says
or they had
that
different.
Vader
characters.
was on there too, but I didn't remember. I totally remembered Yoda was solely Xbox.
Right.
Yeah, I remember Yoda and Vader. You had to. It was a different case too.
Right.
Well, Old Republic was like that back in the day. Old Republic was Xbox exclusive. Like that was it. You could not.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, that was Xbox
Man, I don't
exclusive.
even remember that. Wow.
I wonder what the deals that were made to gamers that were saying, "Hey, listen, can we get one of the characters?"
Yeah, maybe.
We'll sell you Yoda.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously. But now that can
That's what I'm
happen
saying.
again. That can happen
Right.
now with this new deal. So
It's
I
going
would
to
love-
happen.
I would
Yeah.
love for Capcom to come in and do our fighting game.
yeah, man.
Well, here's what we need then. If
Favorite
this
genre.
High Republic is multimedia, right?
Yeah.
We need a game.
Yes.
Give me a Acolyte is going to be part of the High Republic.
Right.
Acolyte should be the end of Phase 3 of the High Republic.
The tail
We're
end,
assuming,
correct.
Right. It's going to end somewhere dark.
It just said that it takes place
So
at the
it's-
tail end of the High Republic, so I'm hoping it ties in.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything that
Right.
they
Better.
they
Right.
said that was coming out of Star Wars, would any of them be a game?
Well, all of them.
We don't know with this news changing.
Yeah.
But saying with this, it'd be cool to add High Republic because now we can all learn them, play with them, learn these characters, right?
Right.
And again,
Yeah.
toys. Throw in some
Yeah.
toys so the kids can learn
Sure.
who these are, so we can collect them. I want a row. I want a whole shelf of top shelf, not the whole
Mhm.
damn thing, right? Give me a top row over there of High Republic
Yeah.
pops.
Nice.
There's enough damn Jedi to give me one of each.
You pretty much.
Yeah.
Get some Black Series. Get some Black Series. Avar Chris. I would be all.
Black
over
Series
those,
is venturing
right?
out into different things right now because there really hasn't been toy news to go
right.
around as far as what's releasing. Although, though, I mean, up for pre-order is the Bad Batch. So they're very hopeful to say something new.
Hey, they're
Oh, I'm
talking about
certain.
bringing Jackson in the Black Series. So
Oh, I thought that was official. Is it not official?
I don't know. I haven't seen the official word on it yet. But
Oh. If that happens, I'm getting one and I'm sending it to England. To
Kevin
have
sign it?
Sign it and send it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. See, so I mean, this is their chance, though, to really get people out there from a toy collector
Yeah.
to a comic book reader to anything. I honestly think, though, Chris, it would be up your alley. And I think, though, the first thing
Your
that would come out is a pop.
I hope.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I hope
Correct.
so.
Yeah.
They don't have. They
And
haven't
it's-
done any video game pops for the Star
Nope.
Wars world.
No,
Like
it
they
seems
have
like
with
they're
Black Series.
using. Right. Well,
I have. Yeah, they have.
Have they?
they have.
I have plenty of game pops. Oh yeah. I have Revan. I have Malik. I have a hooded
That's right.
Yoda.
They just
I
did
have,
those recently too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
recently. And then I have there's a like a dark.
To me, the
Trooper,
gaming
but not-
gray stuff is their
Okay.
loophole to bring that stuff out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
Correct, right,
that
yeah.
that gaming line
Yeah.
I hear is expanding too in the Black Series. So
Yes.
why not?
I've got a feeling though that High Republic figures, if they did a Black Series or even a vintage collection style of High Republic figures, they would be in such limited quantity.
They
they'd
will be.
damn near impossible to get.
that was
Either that-
people wouldn't
either
do
that-
it because they like the High Republic. They would do it because they just collect the figures.
Yeah,
Correct.
either that, Scott,
Right.
or they'll be peg warmers. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
again,
Which
here's
I'll buy
Dr.
'em.
Aphra and the droids and stuff that were there. Those are $80-$90 on eBay. I mean, if you did not get them,
And they were seriously limited too.
Yeah,
I mean,
very
there's
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
these would be limited too.
Mhm.
That's what's gonna suck.
awesome.
But I do want them. So
They should make them
I'll
like
work
Barnes
together.
and Noble exclusives or something like that. You know, it would
Yeah, I
make
agree.
sense to
just put
them
on
in a
Hasbro
box.
Pulse, please, and just leave it there. I don't want no more
But
exclusives.
at the same
Right.
time, though, not this exclusive that we've all been dealing with.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want a case of High Republic Black Series, you have to go to Barnes and Noble to order it.
Right.
That
Oh,
would be
yeah.
awesome. Because
Yeah.
right now, in these times that we live in with all these stupid exclusives going on,
That'd
it's
make me crazy.
exactly.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it really is. So I would like to see that change.
Don't give them to Walmart.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, you'll get your order canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Or Target. I mean,
Or
and
Target.
They're gonna. Yeah, it's always around right now. It's really hard.
yeah.
I mean, we have been granted with new Black Series figures, different re-releases, but this was the most, and some exciting cases actually that are coming out.
Yeah.
The only thing I still want to see then for 2021 is I want to see those more accessories,
Yeah, I know, man. Like,
Really
I
do.
have a feeling, Ernie,
hands,
There were-
faces.
we'll get that at the tail end of the Black Series run. And that could be
Mhm.
5-10 years from now, I think.
Yeah, Yeah.
It's still left up to the collector community to come up with their own accessories. I am so with you. Computers, chairs, backgrounds, space walls, everything. I mean, if they just come out with accessory packs, it would be phenomenal. You know, phenomenal.
G.I. Joe made a killing off of accessory packs in the 80s.
I remember I had a ton of like extra helmets and oh my god.
And they if you remember, Scott, too, they don't not know about it. We had some in the 3 3/4 too. Remember where it came with ponchos?
Yep.
Yeah,
like the fish,
especially episode 1. Yeah,
exactly. That was our first try, and those were gone.
Yeah.
And then you had those deluxe ones, which were awesome. Like the Ewok set was my favorite. That came with all the from the Ewok, and then it came with the speeder. Correct.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's something that they do not know about. But if you're saying Black Series is for your adult collectors, then let's do this. Let's do the build a droid, the build of something. You know,
that's
like
the thing that amazes me. They haven't hopped on yet. Is the build of something?
Yes, right. Because we
maybe
have
that's
so
just
much opportunity.
Yeah,
what
maybe
would they build?
Like not only a droid, just Dark Trooper.
Correct.
There you go. A whole Mandalorian series of figures,
like the one that just.
Well, I was just thinking because the Marvel ones are usually a large character, not like a big trooper, right? Like literally large. Yeah, Dark Trooper would be.
But you could do droids because not necessarily all of them are. But it is that incentive to.
Yeah. I would love instead of a build a trooper, build a scene.
Yeah,
You know, build like
a bantha. Build a bantha.
Build a bantha.
I mean, a lot. If you were to say the next 2 waves, you got to get all of these. Correct. Yeah.
Build a Man, build EV-99, build these larger scale figures.
Dr. Mandible.
Nice.
Dr.
Mandible. There we go.
Right.
You can get a lot of characters for there. Just, hey, I got one.
Yeah.
Build a crate dragon. Oh my god.
That's 3 years worth of figures.
I would, Scott, I would do it too. I would.
Yeah, you would.
The one thing you didn't have was the tip of the tail. Come on.
Yeah, I know. What if you missed that?
I know. Well, they messed with us with G.I. Joe. I bring G.I. Joe back up again because they had the mass device for the 25th anniversary. You could buy packs of figures and build the mass device from the original cartoon. And the final set, Hasbro released the emitter, the little like gemstone emitter was the final piece, and they just dropped the ball on it. And hardly anybody has a complete mass device because Hasbro has no follow through. They have all these great ideas, but then their follow through is just
they need follow through.
I must have just had the important parts because I didn't know that it didn't complete. You know what I mean? I probably just had the dish and the pieces you would need to play as a kid.
Right.
We didn't know. I mean, that's probably why back then they were like, let's drop it.
No. This is 25th anniversary. This is 15 years ago.
For you guys.
Oh, maybe I did have it then because they had that when we were young too. They had that, right?
No, this was the first release, and that was the whole thing about it too, was being the anniversary, and so it got everybody excited as far as finally one of those type of things.
Got it.
And they never even showed up at Ross or any of the discount chains either. But that's the problem with Hasbro is they've got no follow through sometimes.
Hasbro Joe team right now is making a lot of people mad. So
I don't even want to talk about it.
Correct. That's exactly what it is.
Tell me off air.
Just make High Republic figures. That's all I'm asking.
There we go.
Damn.
Yeah, that's all we wanted, right?
That's right.
That's all we want.
And
a soundtrack.
As this collector's asking, though, it is time for more, though.
Yeah.
I want more.
And not just new art, because the new art in the packages is great. It is. It's really cool looking. I like that they've expanded it. I like that they've got collections going.
Yeah, it looks cool on the wall.
It really does. Yeah. But, punch it up to the next level.
Yeah. We're getting,
we'll buy them.
Blaster, two sticks, not a whole lot of extra anymore.
Yeah.
For $10 more.
Need it.
There's plenty of room in there for other things, other accessories.
How about a face how about an evil face, right?
Correct.
Evil face with teeth.
Correct.
Something like that.
Right on the side, and then your build whatever.
Yeah.
Slid it in the top too. I mean,
she could have came with the holocron thing, the Wayfinder, and I know, dude.
And especially for 2021 is the great part of it because of, so many people jumped on board with Mando. Now you got more kids collectors, more adults remembering. Yeah, I grew up with Star Wars, so this would be the time. Let's change the game. Let's bring it up.
Now this one,
open them up to build them up.
This Mandalorian. This Mandalorian right here, they did it right. He comes with behind the sticker. There's an extra head, an unmasked head.
Yeah,
he actually has the Beskar things. Actually, you know what?
Scott, there you go. Do it right. Do it right. There you go.
So here we've got,
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great night.
I cannot believe you did that.
He's got this great head with the, it's a great likeness. And why couldn't they do that with the 6-inch?
Yeah, the 6-inch we have it, but unfortunately it was another Target exclusive, and it didn't come out that sculpt like that.
No, it didn't. The nose is flat.
And you made it a deluxe, and you made it more higher priced, and then harder to get at Target. And
this one.
Correct. Yeah. Right. And a thing of everybody wants that. Everybody, should have been mass release, and then you have the face technology to go ahead and do it. It should have looked a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the problem with before we end it, the problem with the 6-inch one is they flattened his nose so the helmet can fit. Yeah. As you turn the figure to the side, and his nose cuts off. I mean, it's a deliberate cutoff. So front wise, it's like he looks like he just got punched in the nose. Mm-hmm. So I just leave his helmet on.
But if you think about it, he did just get his face pummeled by a dark trooper. So
there you go. Retcon it, and we could always fix it. All right, cool guys. We are out of time, and so let's wind this thing down. Thank you everybody in the chat for joining us again. We are back, and again we will be doing this for just continue, subscribe, like, make sure you tell your friends, because we've got a lot of content, and we've got some exciting guests that we're not ready to let you guys know yet until we nail this down and set in stone. But you do not want to miss the guests that we have coming up. If you're a fan of the High Republic, if you're a fan of the Mandalorian, if you're a fan of, so again,
Star Wars.
I'll stop right there.
I will give us a little hint. Our guests one of the guests is an actual actor from the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
In several episodes, with speaking parts too,
and a great plot line. So.
And he's a pretty major character.
Major.
Oh, it's a he too.
That's it.
You and your pronouns.
Here, I'll say it, but I'll turn my volume off. Okay.
The other one's an author, and hopefully they will be joining us shortly.
Not
early
a big author. So yes.
Massive.
Big.
Yeah.
Stop.
Big time.
Mike, stop.
The author.
And the last one is Gina Carano.
Yes.
So you guys make sure you check that out.
Right. Tagger.
Gina Carano said that she was going to contact me before she contacted you guys.
Right.
I'll let you guys know.
Is that what it was?
Sure.
And then I'll leave this with a tease too. Dominic Pace may be making his return to the Sarlacc Digest. So keep in tune with that. Again, spread the word, like, subscribe. Favorite.
He's got some big things coming up, hopefully.
Yeah,
so,
it was a good year for him.
Yeah. So
run last year.
Big
so
tour.
Look for him again. Us interacting with him. So it was a great guest. So with that, I'm going to lead it over to Scott to take us out. And where can we find you?
Yeah, well, before I get to that, do we want to talk about the little bit of a down note?
Yes.
We do have a little bit of a down note, and that is Mando Mike, who's no longer in the chat. He had to bolt for a little while ago. Mando Mike lost his brother, Donnie, and it was very sudden. His brother went to the hospital on Christmas Day, and just this past weekend we lost Donnie, and so we wanted to give Mike a shout out over that, and he's also started a GoFundMe account because it's just him. It's just him, and he was taking care of Donnie. He does not have the funds to take care of his brother.
Right.
So he has opened up a GoFundMe to try and look out for some assistance. So do you mind if I share the screen real quick?
Please do. Okay. And also I will put the link of the GoFundMe in the description too.
You still have the host has disabled the share screen.
Okay, just a second.
Okay.
Are we going to also share this on the Facebook page and everything else, Scott?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll share this on Facebook page, which is the Sarlacc Digest Central, for all of your news and needs. Here we go. So, so this is Donnie's fund. If you go to GoFundMe.com/Donnie's-fund, you can share some. You can share it with your friends. You can make a donation if you could. Just anything you might have that's extra, please go in and share.
If anything, leave an encouraging word for Mike also, because that does help too. Yeah. So, You know, I figure, you know, part of our extended family, you know, Donnie was part of it through Mike and everything. And the ones that did get a chance to meet him, it was very special. So with that, you know, like, you know, our hearts go out to you, Mike. We're here for you. We're Star Wars here for you. Like I told him that, you know, we'll get together in person one day because this is what brings everything together. And this is why we do it. This is why we call ourselves the Sarlacc family, you know. So it does extend past the 6 guys here. But again, encouraging words also if you're not able to donate. But, yeah, we wanted to mention that to them and make sure that Mike knows that we're thinking of him.
Yeah. So if you could, just, you know, if you've got a little bit to spare, just go in and make a donation. Or like you said, just say hi.
Yeah.
Tell them that you're thinking about them. So, yeah, that's it for me. I don't think I can talk anymore.
Well, thank you, Scott. So with that, guys, you know, it's very hard to follow that, right, and try to have a good perspective on life. But again, just like I told Mike, you know, it's like you got to take the good with the bad, and you got to roll with it. And we're all here for you, just like everybody here and everybody past that. So everybody in chat too. So with that, again, look for Hot Topic episodes coming. Look for more toy reviews coming. Look for more episodes of Sarlacc Digest, and you can find the art of Scott Solo too. You know, look him up and make him encouraging words too, because he does some amazing work and more coming.
Yep.
Thank you.
And then I'll hand it over to Chris. Where can we find you?
Hot Topic Podcast on Instagram and any of our socials. I have been heavier on Twitter.
Yes.
To be honest with you.
He's been twatting a lot.
I've been twatting a lot. So Twitter right now, I'm on under Sarlacc Digest or Grand Admiral Franz.
Very good.
So there you go.
Bootleg Joe.
You can find me exclusively here at the Sarlacc Digest on IG at bootleg Joe _760. I'm no longer on Facebook, so you can just catch me on Instagram.
Nice. Man, I was going to say Mando Mike. Fanboy Mike. It rhymed, okay? Sorry.
You can find me on here once a year.
Once a year, that's it.
At least he admits it.
You won't find him again.
And it was early this time. We'll see you next year.
We'll see you in January next year.
Yeah, first show of the year, Mike's on. And
see you next year, Mike.
Finish reading those books, Mike. You got to do it. And then
absolutely.
Very, very cool. Ernie, the Fallen Fat, I know you're a super, super busy guy, so where can we find you? I'll leave you always the best for last.
Yeah, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. You know, much love, Mando Mike. I haven't been able to pay my respects, as busy and everything that I got going on. So much love to you. May the force be with you. Scott, can we come up with some type of stuff we could all share on our page to get others to share that and put that out there?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. So that I can get that to fellow supporters as well and everything else too. Like Marco said, anything that you guys can do, share it is the one number one thing. And then, just even give a condolences or anything.
Right.
So much love to you, Mando Mike. My heart goes out to you. Absolutely. And may the force be with you. I'm the Fallen Fett. You can find me here with the Sarlacc Digest, guys. We are on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check us out, and then be sure and check out the upcoming stuff that Chris has with Hot Topic Podcast, which you can also find here as him and Scott Solo go over stuff with the new books that we went over tonight. And if you enjoyed that, please share that tonight and get the word out, because I was really entertained by it tonight and got some knowledge off of it. So hopefully you guys do that as well too. And the little toy stuff that we talked about, you can find me with the Toy Migos on They're Not Dolls, Quickie Minis, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time on our YouTube channel, the Toy Migos. And then every Thursday night at 8 p.m. is our 2-hour podcast where we break down the week and other toy news.
Awesome. I'm thinking of doing another spin. I'll call it the Hot Topic. That way I just do video game reviews on there. So, because when that heats up.
There you go. You're going to have to start it.
The Hothiest Topic. That's what I'll call it.
The Hothiest Topic?
The Hothiest Topic. 8-bit Hothiest Topic, because 8-bit goes along with the gaming. Okay, so.
Oh, I'll get you a name. Hold on.
And then Chris can come on my show.
There you go. I would just come on mine when you want to talk about a video game. There you go.
All right,
we'll just do that.
We don't need more shows.
I don't need to be on a video game show.
No, you will. You're going to be doing your gameplay. So in the background for a good laugh. I mean,
just exactly. So people can laugh at me.
Right. All right, cool, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank you, the Sarlacc crew, everybody in chat, all our supporters, and we will see you next time.
Be safe,
Keep it
guys.
nerdy.